Hi guys and welcome to my channel. My name is Betsy Oji-Ofoegbu, and today's video I'll be sharing my experience regarding working for the Big Four. I want to psych you up. I want to tell you why you should work for the Big Four. Don't sleep on it. Yeah, in my last video I walked you guys through a couple of accounting career choices. I hope you've watched that video. Go ahead to watch it. If you haven't, I'll link it above. But I mean, if you have watched that video, then of course you would understand that I extensively explain all the career choices that come with working for the Big Four. So who are the Big Four? The Big Four are PwC, Kpmg, EY, and Deloitte. Yes, so these are the 4 Big Four companies, typically referred to as the top guys in accounting. Yes, so accounting careers, but they kind of move beyond accounting though. But we'll get into that at some point. If this is the kind of video you want to continue watching, or content around making career choices in accounting, getting an accounting job, yes, I'm your plug. Yes guys, so please hit subscribe to my channel and let's get right into the video. Yeah, so what are some of the opportunities and the reasons why you should work for the Big Four? Guys, a little about my background. So I graduated accounting, started with a smaller sized accounting firm, and then I progressed, interviewed with the Big Four in my country back in Nigeria, and I started to work for the Big Four. So yeah, so I will tell you for free that I got a lot of benefits from working for the Big Four. That's something that I would never lie about. What's the point of lying about something like that? Yeah, so it's something that was a huge boost for me, and I'll tell you guys the reasons why. But yeah, but this is not to say that the Big Four experience is heaven. Right? So yeah, so please note that this is not a disclaimer, because I know a lot of consultants have disclaimers all the time, but yeah, but this is not a disclaimer. This is my personal experience. Obviously it might differ from person to person, but I will tell you for free that the Big Four experience is something that I would highly recommend for an accounting graduate. And here's why. So let's get right into it. First reason is you get to work with the best and brightest. Yes, I know it's something we always say to ourselves. Oh yeah, Big Four people always refer to themselves as the best and brightest. But think about it, right? The recruitment process for the Big Four is quite rigorous. So yeah, so they go through this effort because they want to hire really sound people. So you're working somewhere that you just know that you're not the smartest person in the room all the time. You can literally consult from your friends. Everybody just is like you. I don't know how to really explain it, but there's some kind of psychology that goes into hiring people who are really smart. You know what I mean? Yeah, so that's something I give them kudos for, and that makes the experience for me very beautiful, because I show up every day to work. I know that I would enjoy working today, at least with the people that I work with. Yeah, you have people that are of similar age, of similar look, if you even like. Yeah, so the age grade is a bit kind of similar for accounting graduates. I know sometimes they leave it kind of free, so you could have slightly older people, but I mean relatively young people. That's my first reason. Oh my gosh, I loved working with the people that I worked with. Shout out to them. They already know themselves. I'm sure they're watching this video yeah, I know. But yeah, I totally enjoyed working in the Big Four at an early point in my career. Yeah, so that's one reason. Second reason you would enjoy working for the Big Four is the experience. Oh my gosh, there's a reason why they are called the Big Four. So yeah, the experience is very huge because they have a wide variety of clients, right? So think about it. A company as big as a PwC would likely have clients, audit clients in every industry you can think about, because yeah, they're big ones, right? So the big guys in those industries also want to be audited by people who have such a large staff strength and such a large reputation, and larger than life training and all of that, right? Yeah, so all of those reasons are reasons why companies want to hire the Big Four to do their consulting, their audits, their tax. So that kind of also means that you working for them gives you the opportunity to go across all these industries. Yeah, sometimes you could be assigned a unit, particularly maybe you're in mining audits or you're in financial services, but maybe it's no longer busy season in that busy season. Oh my god, let's not even go into that. But yes, let's just put it this way. Assuming you're not busy at some point in your day-to-day work, you could be asked to go work somewhere else. So that also means that you get to experience other industries just by being a staff of one company. Yeah, so that's a huge pro for working in the Big Four. Another important reason why you should work for the Big Four is the guidance. Yeah, you have a lot of guidance available to you. One thing about them is that they are standardized. So yeah, so I've worked for 2 Big Four companies now so far, one in Nigeria and one here in Canada, and I will tell you for free that it's the same thing. The training is standardized, so they do have training, lots of training. In fact, you would run away from training at some point in your career. But yeah, so they have a lot of training available to you. They have a lot of guidance. For instance, if you're an auditor in the Big Four, there's a lot of ISA guidance ingredients always being churned out on the company's website, so you can never say you needn't know what to do. Like, the guidance is available, you just need to go find it. Aside even like having like, you know, resources, paper resources available to you, you also have people. Think of everybody else that is above you. That person is a resource to you, so you can literally chat up a manager if you're stuck on something, and that's a resource. If the manager doesn't know, they can ask another manager, they can ask a senior manager, they can ask a partner. Just think of how far it goes. The partner can ask another partner. Yeah, so that just tells you that you never know what to do. Like, you get what I mean? Like, there's always going to be somebody to ask. If they ever not know what to do within the unit, they can go outside the unit. For instance, you're stuck on an IFRS 9 implementation or something and you're not sure what to do, go to the guys who handle, you know, releases and accounting standards. There's some unit somewhere in that Big Four that handles that problem. You just need to go find them, right? So that's one beautiful reason why I highly recommend working for the Big Four. Another reason why you might enjoy working for the Big Four is the prestige. Oh my god, have you heard the name Big Four? Who would want to work for the Big Four? Yeah, just kidding, but I'm just saying, right? So they built their prestige over time. Like, there's a reason why they're referred to as the Big Four. I'm pretty sure at some point they were smaller, but they had to like merge and remerge, and now you have like the Kpmg, the PwC, the EY, the Deloitte. All of these companies over time have built their prestige. They are a global brand. Like, nobody can say they don't know anything called PwC. Like, I mean, okay, well, some people might say that, but I mean, if you're in the accounting space, I believe you would have heard of the Big Four at some point in your life. So that kind of means that they build their prestige. So if you work for somebody who is known, it gives you a boost, right? It gives your resume a boost, like your CV, your resume, you put it there, people recognize the brand. So if you say, oh, I learned auditing at PwC versus I learned auditing at Betsy, Oji-Ofoegbu and Co. Okay, who's Betsy, Oji-Ofoegbu? Do you get what I mean? So yeah, so PwC is always gonna be known. Yeah, right? So yeah, so that's one huge reason why you might want to work for the Big Four. The confidence boost is there, the prestige it gives you, the resume boost it gives you. Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, as an accounting grad, you're straight out of school, you probably want to build your profile, right? So yeah, that's probably one reason why you could consider working for the Big Four. Another reason why you might want to work for the Big Four is the growth. So yeah, so the career path in the Big Four is very much defined. Like, it's the one place you can work as an accountant that you can largely know what is expected of you in your career. So say for instance you are a 20-year-old when you start interviewing for the Big Four, you can estimate, you can say, okay, by the time I'm 35 I would be this. Like, you can guess, you can be almost certain what you would be at some age. It doesn't happen in every other industry like that, right? Some industries there's some kind of, you know, bureaucracy. Like, I mean, there's a lot of things, right? So yeah, but for the Big Four, even though there's internal politics, you get I guess I'll probably do a cons of working for the Big Four. If you want to see that video, hit like, hit subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you want to see why you shouldn't work for the Big Four. Yeah, but for now, let's stick to the positives, right? Yeah, so okay, let's say this. So think about it, right? So if you work for a company that you can say, okay, I get hired as a staff accountant or an associate, like some firms like to say, and at some point you progress, you become a senior associate, at some point you become a manager, you know, at some point you become a senior manager, and who knows, if there's a director level, you could be a director before you make partner. So that's like what, like 6 steps, like, right? I mean, yeah, let's just simplify it, right? So that's 6 steps. Now, not every other company can you get into and say, okay, I'll get to be director or CFO one day. It doesn't happen that easily, right? So I'm just giving you that reason why working for the Big Four can seem like an exciting reason, like an exciting opportunity. It may not be the same for industry, but I will tell you for free that for the Big Four, so long as you are ready to put in the work and of course, you know, do well at what you do, you're almost certain of your career progression, right? So yeah, so that's a huge plus for why you may want to work for the Big Four. Closely related to that is the job security that comes with working for the Big Four. So I mean, a company that is always having customers, what does that tell you? That they'll always be in business. Yeah, they're a big brand, right? So that kind of means that if you work for them, your job is almost secure, so long as you are just, you know, doing what you're expected to do. So there's rarely ever downtime, right, for the Big Four, right? So even if they have clients who have kind of reported and, you know, it's looking like, okay, it's no longer busy, there's gonna be somebody else who needs some kind of specialized accounting service or some kind of consulting or some kind of one-off, you know, thing to do. you that your help could be needed for. So yeah, so there's rarely ever a time where you say you're out of work to do. So that kind of means that your job is secure, right? Yeah, so that's a huge reason why some people choose to work for the Big Four. The job security is like very key, because I mean, you want to start a job that you're kind of sure that nobody will just let you go for some flimsy reason. Yeah, so to a large extent, like the Big Four jobs, no matter how many partners they admit, they don't just go laying off staff just like that. They do lay off staff, you know, if things get really tight, but it's not as rampant as other industries and, you know, other companies, right? So yeah, so that's a huge plus for the Big Four in case you're considering working for them. And closely related to that reason is the Big Four is always hiring. Yeah, so because they do have a large clientele again, and they always have work, what it means is that they're always hiring. So that's a pro to work for them, right? It means that you can actually get in because they have vacancies available. This might not be the same for, you know, other industries where, you know, once you get in, really there's no need to hire someone else, right? If the job is kind of specific, right? But for the Big Four, because it's something that literally anyone can learn to do to a large extent. So imagine if you're an accounting graduate, what it just means is that you have a high chance of getting hired because they're always hiring. So that's kind of a good thing. I mean, if you look at it from someone who's yet to get in, it means that you have a higher likelihood and opportunity to actually get hired by the Big Four. Another reason for working for the Big Four is the flexibility when it's not busy. Yeah, so what I mean by that is assuming you work for a Kpmg or a PwC, what it means is outside your busy season period, you could, you know, indicate interest to work in other departments or in other units, right, within your line of service, if that makes any sense. So if you're an audit associate or an audit senior and you're less busy and you want to move from probably your financial services audits to go do something for like a tech client or some kind of mining client or some kind of energy client, you know, yeah, you are able to do that. So that means you have like a range, right? So it's a bit flexible, especially when the busy period is over. As well, it allows you to, you know, take time off work, right? Flexibility in with regard to saying, okay, I started work today, but it's like 3 p.m. and things are a bit slow. I'm waiting on a couple of things from my clients. I can stop what I'm doing and go drop off your kids in school or pick them up from school or something like that, and know that you can put in your time at some other time that day. So yeah, so there's that, right? So a job that tracks your time like the Big Four means that so long as you put in the required hours, you know, in a certain day, and, you know, go in and log in your time that you have spent on doing those tasks, you're kind of good, right? So yeah, so that can be a pro for those who have a lot of things going on in their lives. You want to go walk your dog, you want to come back, you know, to do your work. So long as you can deliver on your deliverable, regardless of whenever you put in the time, nobody really cares. So that's a good thing, right? If you look at it from one perspective, that's considered a good thing. Another important reason why you should work for the Big Four is your CPA training. The CPA or ICANN, your ACCA, you know, basically your accounting certification. Most Big Four firms would handle, you know, your training. So what that means is while you're working for them, everything relating to you becoming a chartered accountant in that country where they are situated is kind of handled. So you don't have to pay for those out of pocket. Yay, isn't that a good thing? Yeah, that is. I mean, when I was in Nigeria, my firm that I was working for, the Big Four firm, oh my gosh, my firm, I wish, the Big Four firm that I was working for at the time handled all the payments relating to my ICANN certification. That's the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria. When I moved to Canada, same thing or similar thing happened when I had to like pursue my CPA here. Yeah, which is so beautiful behind me there. The company I was working for as well had some kind of package that could reimburse me, you know, for some of the expenses that I had incurred relating to the CPA. So yay, that's good, right? Yeah, so obviously your, you know, professional development is key to them, because of course they need you to be developed if you're going to come do their work, right? Yeah, so in a way it's like a pro, because for you don't have to worry about that, all the mandatory continuous hours that your, you know, association or your institute or, you know, the whatever requires you to have. The Big Four firms are going to provide that. Like, you're going to get trained, you will be almost tired of training. Yeah, so professional development is key to them, and that's like a huge plus for working for the Big Four. Okay, and then somebody might be wondering, what about the money? Like, tell me about the money, Betsy. Okay, yeah, so for the Big Four, a lot of people feel like the Big Four pays well if you make partner. So it's a bit conditional, right? So the big guys, I mean the guys at the top, earn really good. Yeah, so if you stick it out long enough, and like I said in my original example, if you give yourself like a 15 years or 20 years of your career to the big four, you would at some point be someone who is a big guy, like you make a lot of money, right, to justify all of your efforts. Yeah, so the partners, the maybe senior managers, directors and partners do earn well. So yeah, so that's a plus. I mean, if you make it to that level, huge plus. Yeah, if and when you do leave the big four, another huge advantage to having the big four experience is that you can now negotiate for huge salaries and better compensation, if you're moving into the industry. So that's kind of good, right? So that means your big four experience is highly leverageable to get higher pay. So yeah, so that's something that is really good, but of course you only get to know that when you leave. So there's that, right? Yeah, but I hope this video was helpful. I tried to just rush through some of the reasons that I think you might want to work for the big four. I may not have remembered some of them, so please drop them for us in the comments if you are someone who has worked for the big four before, or you have that experience, or you kind of have friends who work for the big four and you know the positives. Don't forget, the video is about the positives. So yeah, so if you know the positives for working for the big four, you want to share that with an accounting graduate, someone who's confused at this level of their career, not sure what to do, please let's be helpful to them by dropping such comments, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.